Hi, my name is Tony.
Hi, my name's Sid.
And hi there, everybody. My name is James Pollock. I would like to first thank everybody for coming out today. Sid, who is 21, and Tony, who is 53 years old. Firstly, when I start this speech off, I would like to say we have all been victims to fast fashion. We've all seen those really good deals on those sketchy websites that are just way too good to be true. And then all of a sudden that arrives after you paid $10 for it, and it doesn't fit right, or it's the worst material you've ever felt in your entire life. So what's the next action you try to do? You try to send it back, but they don't do returns. So now you're stuck with itchy clothing that doesn't fit right. Now, what's the best option? To throw it away. Now that gets sent to landfills and even our waterways. That continues a cycle of pollution that harms our environment to this day. By researching the effects, and as students, and as even your average daily consumer, we unknowingly contribute to that spread of fast fashion every single day. And by researching these effects and impacts, we are able to understand how fast fashion has impacted our ecosystems and to continuously, despite local environmental resources, while also polluting the countless communities surrounded by landfills. And by being able to research this, it has allowed me to find great quotes and statistics from colleges like UCLA and organizations such as Earth.org and the Center for Biological Diversity to better help prepare my argument and credibility on how fast fashion negatively impacts our environment and ecosystems. While fast fashion is harming our ecosystems through water pollution and producing microplastics in our ecosystems that harm each and every one of us and continue to make degraded goods that pollute our ecosystems and release harmful gases into the atmosphere. This can be helped by putting these negative impacts on our environment on hold while we use and introduce sustainable resources that have been around as long as time has known. This will continue to stop the overproduction of less sustainable goods and the sizes of landfills in those communities. As I continue with my speech today, I will go over the environmental problems that are caused by fast fashion, delving into the industrial side that allows for overproduction of these cheaply manufactured goods, and while also sharing practical and reliable solutions that can help reverse the current negative impacts of fast fashion in our environments and ecosystems today. From Earth.org and the top contributor Rashmil Mehti said that fast fashion is one of the largest consumers of the water industry, producing over 700 gallons to produce one single cotton shirt. This included with a 2,000 gallon increase just to make a singular pair of pants. And if you add this along with the textile dyeing process added into the amount of water consumption that we are using, we are also contributing to one of the second leading factors into water pollution in our environments and ecosystems, which then creates pools of negative impacts on our environments through water pollution and depleting those resources. Stephanie Fieldstein from the Center of Biological Diversity even said this increases the amount of habitat loss from both terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems, which are being completely erupted by the amount of lessly manufactured goods that we continue to overconsume through this manner. The increasing rates of fast fashion due to consumer consumption and the industrial manufacturing have allowed for the increases of now synthetic materials that don't even biodegrade back into Earth's atmosphere or soil, which continues that cycle every day that we have to face with those microplastics in our oceans. This has led, and from Stephanie Feilstein from the Center of Biological Diversity, she said that with the amount of synthetic materials that we have from the poorly manufactured goods that we have being sent to landfills and incinerators have increased the CO2 in our atmosphere from these large amounts of incinerations and continue to threaten us with habitat degradation that will eventually harm us and our health. And as we can talk about the negative impacts that fast fashion has on our environment all day, we also need to understand the root cause and understand how consumerism plays such a violent role in fast fashion. According to Earth.org, again from Rashmil Amati, fashion sites like Zara produce and deliver new garments in 2 weeks, Forever 21 in 6 weeks, and H&M in 8 weeks. This means that fast fashion industries and places that make products like these are able to mass produce horribly made goods in less than 2 weeks that are able to be sold and sent out to consumers that can barely be weighed and produce crazy amounts of waste through consumerism each year. As this has created a culture and a market for consumer overconsumption through fast fashion industries, because it enables consumers to buy more, wear less, and dispose more due to poor materials. From Elena Simonson from UCLA, she even states that manufacturers outsource their labor to other developing countries that allow for industries to avoid paying livable wages and work hours to keep up with trends of fast fashion, which is horrible. And even later in her article, she states how we have been Fashion Nova, one of the leading brands in California, was caught paying $2.47 a livable wage in America. These lack of regulations and environmental oversights allow for the continued degradation of not only our ecosystems, but the quality that we continue to receive from manufactured goods. And even though these causes and underlying factors that drive the fast fashion industry can be complex, we can regulate it and fix it. There is still hope that good and reliable resources that we can find can support and renew the damages that we have done to our environments. To encounter the negative effects caused by fast fashion, we can use sustainable fabrics that naturally reoccur in our ecosystems, like silk, cotton, linen, hemp, lyocell. And even Rashil Mati from Earth.org again states that this would slowly help down the effects of fast fashion in our environment. And if we start to buy less and instead of giving into the consumerism trap that is fast fashion and start choosing quality over quantity, this can be done by supporting the slow fashion and consignment stores that reuse and donate clothes to needy or unprivileged people and advocate for the better manufactured goods that support a healthier and productive economy and ecosystem. As we continue to raise awareness about the impacts of fast fashion on our environments and the consequences it has raised throughout consumerism, we can also help to motivate the stricter regulations and guidelines on the excessive amounts of waste, pollution, and unethical labor practices that we use in order to contribute into this culture of overconsumption in our society. That will eliminate the harms that come with just fast fashion in itself. And as I end off my speech, I want to recap on how fast fashion is polluting our environment and how the ecosystems, by draining natural resources from them, increasing the sizes of landfills, and synthetic materials making our clothes take centuries to biodegrade, and even if they do at all. We also explored how industrial practices and consumer consumers' culture help to drive the demand for fast fashion, and how we can support and stimulate sustainable resources that can help put the demand for fast fashion on hold and put sustainable and slow fashion on forward. So when you think about asking yourself, or when you think about snagging that online Sheen or Zara order for 60% off your next purchase, ask yourself, is further destroying our ecosystems and environments worth the 3 wears I'll get off these $5 shirts? Thank you.